All right, all right, all right. Sunday morning live stream with Windsor and Scott. You like my radio voice?
You bet your ass.
You bet your ass. Oh, that's pretty.
There we go.
Um, thank you for joining us,
Oh man,
Scott. Most of
instant 2 watchers. Look at that.
I love you guys
Yeah,
for real.
love you, love
Um,
show.
It'd be awesome if you could hit the like button and subscribe to Scott's channel as well as mine. If you have a chance, I would love you guys forever. And it really helps us to get our message out when we get. Did you see the hearts?
I
It
did.
helps us spread
But
our
I can't do
message.
it.
You got to do it really good. You got to do it really good.
Whatever.
Now nobody's watching us.
I know.
They're like, what are they doing in there? Okay. Hello, Debbie. So we want to do some daily reflections, morning meditations, what have you. And I want to start off by reading the daily reflections, the AA one. So many of you may have already read it, but here, let's start. They all have a theme today, which I'm totally digging. So is Scott.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Okay, January 28th, the treasure of the past. Showing others who suffer how we were given help is the very thing which makes life seem so worthwhile to us now. Cling to the thought that in God's hands, the dark past is the greatest possession you have. The key to life and happiness for others. With it, you can avert death and misery for them. And that's from the AA Big Book, page 124. That's the excerpt from it. And the commentary says, what a gift it is for me to realize that all those seemingly useless years were not wasted. The most degrading and humiliating experiences turn out to be the most powerful tools in helping others to recover. And knowing the depths of shame and despair, I can reach out with a loving and compassionate hand and know that the grace of God is available to me. So I wanted to share a little bit. Me and Scott want to share a little bit on each one. We have a couple different meditations we want to read after this one. But I instantly read that this morning and was just, I don't know, it just gave me a good feeling, anything that talks about using my past in a way to help others, it gets me going. You know what I mean? So I love how it says, what a gift it is for me to realize all those seemingly useless years were not wasted. It's like, it wasn't in vain, right? Isn't that what people say?
Yeah.
All that pain wasn't in vain.
Doesn't have to be. No.
Yep. Like for me, it's like I have to turn it in and transform it into something that is now going to be of benefit to someone else, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Scott?
Yeah, and I think it is kind of weird that you have an AA book and I have a non-AA book that I'm going to read from, and they kind of correspond.
And the other non-AA one I have that's not even 12-step corresponds.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah, I mean,
I feel like it's in the universe.
It's weird. I struggle with that, but sometimes I really want it to be like.
Yeah,
I really want
it
it
is
to be
for us right now. It is.
Yeah.
You can't deny it. So you.
Well, listen to this. This is from. I'll hold this up here so you can see. Beyond Belief: Agnostic Musings of a 12-Step Life. This book was suggested to me because of my issues with the higher power. Hey, what's up, little heathen?
Hi, issues. Silly, you don't have issues.
So, I had issues with the higher power thing. So I couldn't buy in. You know what I mean? So, all right. Yeah. So this says January 28th. Eternity isn't let's start over. Eternity isn't some later time. It has nothing to do with time. Eternity is that dimension of here and now, which thinking around time cuts out. If you don't get it here, you won't get it anywhere. The experience of eternity here and now is the experience of life. Joseph Campbell.
I like that.
I think that's really good. I didn't read the commentary to it because I thought just that was good enough. We're waiting for eternity. We're waiting for, all these things to come. But, it's a saying that I've been using a lot is, do something today that tomorrow you will thank you for. And that's kind of what that's saying too, because eternity starts now. If there is an eternity, it's happening right now. So you can affect your eternity by doing, to use an AA cliche, doing the next right thing. So I think that kind of went along with your reading. What do you think?
Yeah, and you know what? It's what we've been talking about too, about little changes equal the big changes, right? Like
Mhm.
those are the most dramatic and influential things to make um our life go into a certain course, right? It's not the um it's not that it's just one decision, or the big decisions or seemingly big decisions are the ones that make all the difference and change our lives. It's the little ones every single day that change the trajectory. And so do something today that tomorrow, the next day, gonna thank you for. And I think that's kind of like sums up recovery for me. That was like my faith in the beginning that if I do, which it is, it's like a higher power thing for me. Like my faith was, if I just do this today, next right thing, whatever they say, I could totally see how that was implemented into my recovery in my life. If I do this little thing today, I can do that. And then tomorrow I can do this and start adding on. And so it makes it more feasible, right?
Yeah, and the thing that you have to remember, and I'm talking to myself first and
Yeah.
foremost,
Of course, we
is
always are.
yeah, that I have to remember that I can do the next right thing, but that doesn't mean everybody else around me is going to do things that are going to help me get to where I want to be. Because life's a bitch. Pardon my French, little heathen. But life's tough, and there's going to be people that are going to put obstacles in your way. I went in to get sentenced for an OWI 2.5 years after the fact. Um, and I had put a lot of work in between the two things, or in between those 2.5 years.
Mhm.
And I thought, okay, this is at least going to get dropped to a second. I'll lose my license for a year, and they didn't. They didn't budge. They gave me my third, and so that it was only 2 months in jail. I say only. Some people would think that's an eternity. It felt like an eternity, but I know a lot of people have spent a lot more time than 2 months. That's why I say it was only. um, those type of things can happen. I did everything that I could. I wrote letters. I had letters written, and I went in there and I was able to give my piece, and it wasn't good enough. But I just had to accept that was out of my control, and that's the hardest part.
But you know what? You still did the work, and
Yeah,
it was much easier for you to accept, I'm sure, with having done all
yeah,
that.
yeah. They're not going to take my work away by putting me in a cage. I mean, I
Nope.
could let them. I could give it away, but
Mhm.
I didn't.
Nope. That I had a similar experience for that. Um, but I won't get into that. It's long and drawn out. But
Well,
yeah, it's whatever. It's like, and I tell clients that too, because I have a lot of clients that are in there for DUI. We call them DUIs here,
mm,
and man, it's like they want to just give up because it seems too difficult to do all the things required before court and this and that. And they're like, well, if I'm
yeah,
going to jail anyways, I might as well just go drink. And it's like, no, nobody can take your sobriety away from you, right?
yeah.
Like in that cage and shit. I mean, it is a cage.
I mean, I will call it a cage forever and
Yeah,
forever. And I mean, if you deserve to be in a cage, then you deserve to be in a cage.
true.
You hurt somebody, then if you hurt somebody intentionally, for sure, you need to
Yeah.
be put in a cage. But that's what we're doing. We're putting people in a cage. But I'm not. I'm not. I'm going to shut up because I don't want to make it about that.
I love it. Okay, so then here's another one. This is from the Daily Stoic. Um, and so someone actually posted on my one of my posts. He commented, Lindsay, something, because I've been posting a lot of content on X that is along the lines of Stoicism. The Stoics, like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius, if that's how you say it. I think it
Oh yeah,
is.
yeah.
Is it? Okay. I usually butcher the names, but yeah. So I started getting into Stoicism and using that in recovery, and I had this great idea that maybe hopefully one day I'll find time for, but like developing a way to integrate it into recovery, which I mean I am automatically, but as far as like writing something and making a workbook or whatnot. Anyways, I won't get off into the weeds, but it's just so helpful for recovery, like the Serenity Prayer. that comes from this time and the Stoic teachings. So it's pretty cool shit. All right, so January 28th, watching the wise. Quote, take a good hard look at people's ruling principle, especially of the wise, what they run away from and what they seek out. That's from Marcus Aurelius' Meditations book, 4.38. Seneca has said, without a ruler to do it against, you can't make crooked straight. That's pretty cool. Well, that is the role of wise people in our lives, to serve as model and inspiration, to bounce our ideas off and test our presumptions. Who that person will be for you is up to you. Perhaps it's your father or your mother. Maybe it's a philosopher or a writer or a thinker. Perhaps WWJD, what would Jesus do, is the right model for you. But pick someone, watch what they do and what they don't do. That's emphasized, don't do, and do your best to do the same. So this is really good for me to be reminded of, that it doesn't have to be, this is kind of what we're just talking about too, Scott. It doesn't even have to be anybody specific in our lives. Like, I have mentors that I've grabbed and stolen from different places, right? And therapists, friends, just those are my family. Those people I look at and try to emulate some of them, right? Because I want what they have. I want that serenity that I can clearly see. They're not living chaotic lives. It's appealing to me, and that's what I want, and that's what I've gotten, and I hope to continue to keep, right? So, but it is, you are who you're around, and I couldn't just figure out how to do this stuff without looking to others for guidance, and I think the thing, me and Scott have talked about numerous times before, is like deciphering between the ones that are actually walking the walk while talking the talk, if so, and not just talking the talk, because we can get jammed up. We have to really, use our intuition and talk to other people. Justin, he's my hero too. But you know what I mean? If that makes sense, I think it makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, you can. Sometimes you can't tell. Some people are really good at talking, and they can suck you in. But it's the people that are providing the action, and that's, if you're an AA person, that's what they talk about: action and more action. So we like we talk about too, and they talk about in all treatment centers, that words no longer mean anything for some of us that are in there, or we have to show through our actions that we mean business.
Yeah. Same with like amends.
Yeah. Well, I do have the Nightlight.
Oh yeah. I love that one too.
That's pretty good. This is it says, either you reach a higher point today, or you exercise your strength in order to be able to climb higher tomorrow.
Ooh.
Love that one.
Yeah.
Because you might not get to, something might not happen today that you want, but if you prepare and you accept that didn't happen, and you're able to find ways to prepare for tomorrow so that it could happen then, it's kind of like you don't get that job that you went in for, and then 2 days later you get a better one that you didn't think that you were going to get. If you were just thrown in the towel and said, well, fuck it, I'm just going to go accept this other job that I didn't want, you just prepare yourself. Yeah, I really like that reading.
Yeah, I mean, everything is gearing us up. Like, everything that we're learning every day is stacking onto our knowledge and experience already. And, it's going to being used up for something good, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any other ones?
That's it.
Okay.
I have those two in the daily reflections, which are
very nice. But yeah, I mean, just all in all, like, we want to start coming on here Sunday mornings, Saturday mornings, and just starting our day out right with you guys. Because I know for me, I mean, I'm selfishly doing this for me, like, because I really enjoy this, and I need to be grounded, because I can't wake up on the proverbial wrong side of the bed, as I was speaking about yesterday, and I need to for me, I don't want to be stuck in that, you know? So I think it's important that I ground myself, whether that be with talking to another person in recovery, someone with my best interest at heart, friends in the program. You know, it's all cliche stuff, probably, right? That I hear, and I'm like, oh yeah, I've heard that a million times, but it's so true for me.
Yeah.
I found it to be so true, and just connecting, because I can feel all alone when I have so many people if I don't make the effort to connect with them on a daily basis, you know.
Yeah, just getting on here and chatting. I mean, it's selfish for me as well. I get on here to talk, and I don't think there's been very many, if any, that I've got on here and we've had a chat, or Adam's had a chat, or I get on solo and then I shut it down and be like, well, that made my day fucking worse.
No, I know, it really starts it out right for me, and then it ends it right for me too at the end of the day, like last night.
Yeah.
Being together with you guys instead of out there in a bar by myself drowning my sorrows. Sounds so sad. It is sad, but you know, it's where I want to be. And so this is my tribe, right? This is our tribe that we've established and built. And I tell everybody all the time, you know, there's a big community on X, on YouTube, on Instagram, whatever. I prefer X, of sober people that just are trying to do the damn thing every day. That's what we're doing. We're suiting up and showing up every single day. That's why I'm here. That's why you're here. That's why everybody else is here, I'm sure, because we're doing the damn thing. Sobriety is of the utmost importance. It's number one in my life. And I got to do some things to stay like it. Yeah. I feel like that too, Arvin said. What about you guys? What do you think really starts your day out right? Do you do other things besides daily readings? Anything that you would love to maybe discuss with us? Is anybody having a hard time this morning? Let's get it out and shake it out of us and talk about it if you want. Burning desires. You know?
Yeah, I found talking with people in the recovery community is easier than talking with the people that are the people that are supposed to be in my family. You know, some of them are too old to have a conversation with, and they don't really understand things. And then the other ones, you know, oh yeah, that sucks. You know, and I don't have a whole bunch of people in my family to go to, and that's not a sob story. I have great friends. I have phenomenal friends, and Miley's phenomenal. You know, so I have a lot of options of, you know, that other people might not have. Some people might have a great family, you know. So, and we were talking about this while we're waiting for people to throw out there if they're struggling or some other topics they would like to hear about. You know, the quote that we were talking about before we went live is "Blood is thicker than water," and I'm sure that everybody's heard that. And this quote, for me, means a lot, especially when I found out what it actually is saying. So, if you don't know, blood is thicker than water. The full quote is actually, blood of the covenant is thicker than water of the womb. So what that's saying is the blood of the covenant is like well, you know what? Where's my phone? I'm going to give you the definition of covenant. Hey Siri, what's the definition of covenant? Okay, so an agreement. So a covenant is an agreement. So you make an agreement when, you know, my buddy Chris or Zach or Pug, you know, I make agreement with them like, hey, we're going to be friends and we're going to do these things together. You know, I'll be there for you. You be there for me. You don't say those things out loud, but that's what you do with friends. When you choose your friends, you choose them and you make a covenant between you two that is stronger than the water of the womb. For me, in my circumstance, my mom's a complete shit show and there's no relationship there. So the saying, the full saying, the actual saying fits for me. I didn't choose her and she didn't choose me, to be fair, right? So maybe it's me. That could be fair, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, I'm trying to be funny there. But yeah, it's you know, you can't choose your family sometimes. So those bonds that you create outside of your circle, like whether it be in recovery or it be friendships, can be stronger than that of the womb, which means family. So I think that's really interesting once you know that. So
that is really good. It's so true. And it just reminds me, like, I my family tried to help me so many times. When I say family, I just mean my mom and my dad. I never, I don't have any brothers and sisters. Well, I found out I did, but that's a different story for a different day. But I grew up as an only child and very sheltered, and I didn't really even have many friends because I was always with my mom, or my dad was always at work, and it was just us three, and that was it. And I didn't really have friends till I got older, and then until I started getting in trouble. But long story short, I went to them for everything, right? Like I didn't really have strong friends, and I started drinking when I was young and using drugs, and so those were the types of people that I was around. I didn't have any real true friends, right? Until I got into recovery. And then I found like this is the family that I choose. Like I would much rather be with my brothers and sisters in recovery, because those people, these people, you people genuinely usually want the best for me, right? And vice versa. There's a couple assholes, but there is in every every space, right?
Sure.
And so I don't know. I'm just grateful that I have that and that we have that with each other, because I don't know. I know that when I tried to stop and I went to treatment, and I didn't even know that so many people struggled with what we struggle with. I didn't know that it was classified as anything. I didn't know what an alcoholic was. I just heard it. You hear it over the years and you're like, oh, it's bad. It's bad to be an alcoholic. Like that's all I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
Or that other people did things every single day to stay sober, or that they helped each other. And like, I don't know, the whole world of recovery kind of just inspired me. And that alone in the beginning kind of carried me, now that I think about it,
Yeah.
It's crazy because I didn't know what the hell I was doing, if I was coming or going,
Yeah, I just think those connections that you make on your own, and that can be with blood people, that can be with non-blood people, the connections that you make mutually are the strongest ones. And if there's mutual connection there, then it's hard to break it. So Trust No One says, I'm taking the first step after so many failures. So
tell us a little more.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, so what did that look like for you?
Yeah. First step as in putting it down, or?
Well, yeah, I mean, first step is talking about it, I think.
Let's talk about the first step.
Okay. So if you're going AA, we admitted that we're powerless over alcohol and our lives become unmanageable.
Right. So, and universally, Scott and I talk about this a lot, is that the first step is just really recognizing the reality of what we're struggling with, right? Like, and I know that's easier said than done, right? Like acceptance is, what is acceptance? What is acceptance?
Yeah.
What is it, Scott? It's just understanding and realizing, being in the now, like this is the reality of my situation, and that I may need to stop drinking, and maybe I do have some kind of issue.
I don't know. I mean, I accepted a long time ago that I was an alcoholic and I needed to do something. I just had no idea what it was. So was that me taking the first step? I knew my life was unmanageable.
Maybe.
And I knew that, once I had alcohol in me, I was powerless to do anything productive. So I knew that way before I started making a change. So I guess, the first step is admitting there's a problem. That's what some people will say. So I guess you're on your way. So now you just need to figure out what the next step is.
Did you see what he said? I've been addicted to prescription medication for years. Or he or she, sorry, I didn't know.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So you're trying to discontinue it now, but you're coming to that realization, obviously, that you're here with us right now. That's a huge step.
Yeah. Yeah. That's taking another step to gather other experience. AA says experience, strength, and hope. So when you join something like this, or you go to a meeting, you listen to the experiences other people have, and you can relate. So you, by relating to them, you can know that they know what they're talking about. So then that develops trust. And then you hear the strength in their voice when they're talking about it because they're not dealing with that as much anymore or at all in some cases. And then the hope is, well, maybe I can do that too.
Yeah.
And so you're doing a really good thing by coming here and talking about it. Even Jennifer says, she was an alcoholic or addict, but her recovery looks similar to yours or ours. It's regarding behaviors and living a better way. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be a substance to be in recovery from something. We all know that, video games, sex, shopping, there's all kinds of other things that people don't necessarily look bad or down upon like they do. Somebody's passed out on the couch after drinking a fifth of something. There's not that stigma necessarily. Yeah, there would be in the sex part of it. I think there's some stigma there, like, that dude gets around, type of thing. So, but yeah, recovery is recovery, and I don't care if you're addicted to orange juice, and like you have constant heartburn from the acid, and you want to get like I support you in whatever you can do.
It's so funny because I do that shit with peanut butter.
I do it.
It's like a real thing, you guys.
I'm about to go get a bag of Doritos when we're done with this, and I'll eat that whole son of a bitch in about 3 minutes. And that's no bueno. I know, dude, it's no bueno, but I know. One fight at a time.
I know. That's literally what it is too, right? Like that's what's cool is you don't have to tackle on everything at once. I mean, shit, you can't, right? I mean, maybe like a Superman can, but shit, not me. It's one thing at a time, and really just learning about what it is that we're even doing these things for, right? There's nothing wrong with us. We have to remember that there's nothing wrong with us. We're not defective. We are just normal humans, and people use different things. Everybody uses something.
Yeah, and we fuck up, and that doesn't mean we're fucked up. I mean, we depend on things to fuck us up. Well, I'm going to start making this R-rated by saying this stuff, but like, okay, so I trust that Trust No One is posting these things and being okay with us reading the comments. But what I would like Trust No One to do is to rewrite that entire sentence, but put it in the past tense, because it doesn't have to be present tense right now. Because today you're not messing everything up. You're not destroying anybody's lives. Take that sentence and put it in the past tense. And whether you think it's silly or not, that's okay. You can think it's silly because everybody's entitled to that. But changing that around will help. I have to do it every single day. And it's a work, and it's not easy. But when I start saying things like that are definite, like I've screwed this up and it's never going to be the same. Well, I screwed it up, period.
Right.
I don't need to say that it's never going to be the same because I can't tell the future. If I did, I would have an actual studio doing this podcast because I've won the lottery by now. Actually, I'd probably won the lottery and then be dead because I would have drank it all. You know what I mean? But so try to spin things, or at least don't say them in such definitive terms, because you will feel it as well as think it.
Thank you for saying that. That was perfect, Scott. This is exactly, we've been talking about this over and over again, and I've just been implementing it in areas of my life, and it works for everything. Because we are what we say we are, right? And so what are you doing right now today? You are here joining. This is like a meeting, right? This is a congregation of us, all with the same common solution and goal. We're all here for this one purpose. And you took that step and you're in this. Like, I didn't want to go to meetings or listen to anybody talk about anything. I didn't know what to do. And so as far as even being confused, and then let alone pulling myself to get there was another thing. So be proud of yourself. And I know it's hard, but tell yourself you're proud of yourself, and you will believe it. Tell yourself with everything in you, and believe it, because it's true. But the more and more that you do this, you'll start to understand, and it'll really be real, because every single day you'll start to see the progress that you're making and the actions that you're taking. That's what I've really been focused on. So for myself.
Yeah. I spent about 2 weeks when I went to a treatment. I don't remember what year it was, but then I went back in January 2022. I was there for 60 days. Went back out after I left. Worst month of my life. When I went back in the second time to the same treatment in 2022, the first 2 weeks I spent staring at the mirror because I'd heard something about affirmations. And I forced myself to look myself in the eyes, and I cried my eyes out while I tried to do it and say 3 nice things to myself 3 times a day. And those first 2 weeks were terrible. I didn't believe a word that I was saying, and I didn't want to look this piece of crap in the eyes, that had made so much progress and then pissed it away within 4 hours of leaving. I didn't want to look at it, but it started to help. And then all of a sudden I started to feel a little bit better and like, hey, okay, maybe this is working. And then I started having other guys do it. And then we started holding each other accountable by going into, there were 3 mirrors in each bathroom. We'd hold each other accountable, and we would either say them quietly or out loud to ourselves while the other one was doing it. And it helps. So definitely do the best that you can you can't lie to yourself, right? So if you made some mistakes and hurt some people, you can't say, well, it'll be okay. You can't lie to yourself. I did this, but it doesn't have to be that way forever. You can make it that. You can totally flip it.
Right. Yeah. You don't have to. You're not going to be able to do everything overnight, and don't expect yourself to, and don't shame yourself into changing because you can't. We can't. It's been tried. Believe me, I've tried it many times.
Yeah, you know what's another crazy way to counsel yourself, and I keep talking about it, but it's journaling.
Yes.
Like when you're feeling in a bad way, let me scroll up here real quick and so how you're feeling today, like trust no one, go journal that right now, or listen to us because we're fun, but afterwards, journal it down exactly how you're feeling, and then revisit it in a week or two, and but don't forget to write at least 3 things that you're grateful for in it, and then revisit it in a time later, and you're going like, God damn, wow, that was really dark. And then you can just kind of say, wow, look how far I've come. I never thought that I'd feel this way. So those journaling is a huge thing.
Yeah, I love the 3 that I'm grateful for in the morning, like Scott said. And then I've incorporated lately the 3 things that happened during the day of whichever day that I'm doing it, every day. 3 good things that happened that day. It's rewiring our brains. And, that took me a little bit of time to believe that. But it's doing something, you guys. It's doing something.
So a year ago today, I was in jail in a cage, right? So, and then now I'm working for an outpatient as a recovery coach. My kids weren't talking to me.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my little boys, one of my twins, was in here when this live started, and just to kind of announce his presence. And so a lot has changed in the past 6 months to a year. That doesn't mean it's going to change in 6 months to a year for everybody, but it can change. And I really like what Alston just said. It wasn't losing everything. It was about losing myself. Ooh. So it's really good because what helped me, I believe, to get back the people that I lost that I wanted back in my life was to find a reason to like myself. And then that kind of put it out into the world and they could see that change. And that's a really hard thing to do when you think that you're just a miserable bastard that does nothing but fuck everything up.
Yeah.
But if you can find something you like about yourself each day and build upon that, once you have that strength inside, that's when the magic happens.
Yeah. Watch my video last night if you get a chance. The sober Saturday night fever one, because I talked about identity and exactly what Scott had brought up, and how we talk to ourselves and really just drive it home, telling ourselves over and over again that we did this or did that. It isn't, there's a time and a place, and it will be soon, right? To where you can get to look at that stuff and get to work on it. But right now there's nothing to be done about any of that stuff. And all you can do is what is in front of you. What can you control in this day? Remind yourself. Write it down. What I do is I just make a simple lines on the paper, 2 columns, right? What can I control in this situation? What can I not control? And what I can't control, if I'm focused on that, I'm going to just burn myself into the ground, right? Burning up energy.
Yep.
Yeah. And what you can control is what you're doing right now, where your feet are at, right? Where your mind is at. That's what you can do right now. So what you can do right now is stay sober today. You know, put things in place, like Scott said, that your future self will thank you for. You know, that's what it's all about. One foot in front of the other, taking one bite out of the damn elephant at a time until you eat that thing. It's real. I used to say that to myself all the time, and I thought it was so silly at first, but it really helped me. I'd be like, Lindsay, how do you eat an elephant? I literally did that. It wasn't Lindsay. Oh, broke. Yeah. Did you read what Arvin said?
Yeah.
Be in the mirror.
Yep. Yeah, it'll break you. Yeah, it's hard to do. There was another good one. If you have a group that you trust or a group of people that you trust, man, it was so powerful. The last treatment I went to sucked ass. But we did one. What's the word I'm looking for? Exercise. Maybe that's not the right word either. But we did one thing in the group where you picked. So this one guy, I don't remember who I picked exactly, but I'm sure it was my kids. But this one guy picked his son. And so somebody in the room would represent his son. So he would stand up in front of the class, and this individual could either look at him or look away, could respond or not respond. And you got to say everything that you wanted to say to this person who was representing that person that you wanted to talk to and couldn't, whether they were past or still living. And holy hell, was that powerful.
Yeah.
Like, you were able to say these things out loud to a real person that wasn't the person, but man, it almost felt like it. And you get it out, and then you get to experience what that felt like. Then you can evaluate, from there. But man, was that's some powerful stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that is powerful. That it is an exercise. It's very powerful. A lot of places and therapists will do that, and it's phenomenal. Yeah, empty chair.
Empty chair, yeah.
It's a good in.
So if the kids.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, just curious if your kids are. This is from Jennifer. Just curious if your kids are in some sort of recovery program too. I'd like to take my recovery to my kids, and other kids that have no clue what this. My kids aren't in any kind of recovery program, although that might be pretty good. I mean, when you have speaker meetings, I know how powerful it is to hear the commonality or whatever. And I know that Al-Anon helps people too. If there was something for kids, if somebody knows, that'd be cool.
There is. It's Alateen, but I don't know if that's like what the age limit. Well, I don't know. Okay. Is there an age limit or?
I don't know. I'll have to look into that. That's great. Yeah, that's a great question.
Really good question.
So what I've done with my kids is, I haven't told them the gory details, but they know almost. I mean, they know more than maybe what some would tell their 11-year-olds. And when they ask questions, I absolutely do not get offended. It was a couple weeks ago. My son asked my dad, "Did you have a slip?" And I was like, "Oh, why are you asking, buddy?" And he's like, "It's okay if you did. I just wanted to ask and see if you did. I'm not mad if you did." Like a little adult. Aww. And I was like, "Oh, buddy, Dad's been pretty good." So
that's pretty cool, though, that he did that. That he, you know what I mean? Just that he's aware and trying to be there for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Jennifer said something earlier about her recovery, and I was wanting to ask you guys if you'd ever looked into Emotions Anonymous. I wasn't sure if we talked about that before, Jennifer, or not on here, but I have the book here. It's another 12-step program, and it's emotions. And I had a lot of clients I really wanted to get into, and they didn't have the meetings in our area. So I was going to try to find some online or something and look into that. But I think that could be helpful for anybody, right? So yeah, that's pretty cool. Maybe one day we can. Oh, you are? I went to a CODA meeting. I really liked it. 1219 for Alateen. Oh, cool. Thank you. That's cool. Is there another? I guess there probably isn't one for kids younger than 12, huh? Which ones are the emotions one? I feel like it's really small, isn't it? Because when we were looking a couple years ago too, and it was during COVID, so I wasn't really sure what that was about. I want to look it up now.
Yeah, I'm kind of poking around on Emotions Anonymous as well.
The book is really good.
Remote and hybrid groups host their EA meetings either over the phone, so no internet needed, or the internet through the wide variety of Skype and Zoom.
Look there's workbooks available. I'm gonna buy one. I get so into this stuff.
Well, this is what I learned today. I did not know there was Emotions Anonymous. I might have to do the
hold
work myself.
Get it free. Let me show you.
12 to 19 for Alateen. That's something else I didn't know.
Me either.
I mean, it would be great for kids to hear from kids who have went through what they went through and now their relationships are good again. That'd be powerful. Codependent. Oh, no kidding. Huh. This is why we network and this is why we connect, right? We're talking about making powerful connections. Somebody might re-listen to this and be like me and never heard of Emotions Anonymous and things like that. That might help them. So, and they might not have known of Alateen, and they might not have known of codependence.
Yeah. Oh, can you see it?
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah. Look what I found. There's some good stuff in there. I went to a really cool meeting. I actually found it on intherooms.com. Have you guys ever been there? It's a pretty big thing, like members and stuff. But the meeting was really cool. I need to go do that again. If anybody's down, and Jennifer, any good ones, will you let me know? And I have some clients that would probably want to do that with me. But this one was really good too. I really like this one. Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous. It's different from Sex Addicts Anonymous, but I really like that. And I got Recovery Dharma. I need to look into that too. Has anybody been to those meetings?
Yeah, that's a good one too. If you don't know about that, yeah.
We should do that one day. And I got Rational Recovery, of course.
Very nice.
We should do.
I didn't realize. I started AA back in like 2018, 2019, and I had no idea that there were other branches of things out there. I thought it was AA and only AA because that's what the courts told me. That's what everybody on the street told me. You got to go to AA. Gotta go to AA. That's the only one that helps anybody. And it's like, oh, well, turns out they didn't know what the hell they were talking about. But most of those people is completely innocent. So
yeah, it's like we should do we should do a video like talking about this more. Would you guys want to do that with us and like bring your resources too? I mean, maybe we could have guests on here.
Let's do that. Let's like set a date, or let's do that next Sunday.
Okay.
And then it'll be our Sunday morning thing. And I have some resources for other groups at work as well. I'll grab those and bring them home.
I have more 12-step stuff too. Like I was Overeaters Anonymous. I really liked. I went to a Food Addicts Anonymous meeting. That was really good.
Well, yeah. And I think we need to explain a little bit about what Smart Recovery is all about. And, and the other branches of, we can do a whole, hour and a half talk about different meetings out there, because if somebody's like me out there that's like, man, I'm so sick and tired of hearing God this, God that.
Yeah.
And look, that doesn't bother me now, just so everybody's clear. Like, you can talk about God all you want. It was in my early stages of trying to find something that I could relate to. Being in the mindset that I was, it was really hard for me to buy in and to dive into those types of things. And now I hear the G word, it's the same as somebody saying Steve. I mean, it's like, okay, they're just talking about this over here, or that person, or this thing, or whatever. So, no prejudice whatsoever. It was just my own stubborn, trying to find my way. So,
yeah, and I'm just lost on it, so I'm cool. Like, I'm just like, whatever, dude. I don't know. I like the universe.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
love, karma.
Yeah, I want to believe. I want to believe those things. If you are good, you get good back. Then my mind will go like, yeah, well, you put out good and you get good back. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So who's getting all the bad that you're stealing, or that you're putting? That's just how
the
power of Steve. Amen.
Oh my God, that's gonna be that's the thing now.
Yeah, Jennifer, that might stick now. Actually,
I don't like that. Yep. Steve is whoever the hell you want that man to be.
Yeah, Steve can be anybody. But Steve can't be a doorknob because he might turn on you.
You did. I never heard somebody say he might turn on me. Oh my God. Do you remember when I posted something and people were like getting like cray cray in the comments about?
I didn't see it, but I
so dumb. Yeah. They said, I think that's stupid to have a doorknob as your higher power because like I feel like I'm more powerful than a doorknob.
A little bit. The doorknob, literally, a doorknob cannot function without you doing anything with it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So, but I get what they're saying. They're just trying to make it easy for people. But yeah, that's a saying that's out there.
I'm not going with that shit.
Don't have a doorknob because it can turn on you. Find Steve. I accept Steve into my heart.
Fine. All right, so let's do this. So I also want to, if anybody, maybe we can have invite people into this. We can figure out how to do that somehow, or
yeah, we just send them the same link that we use, and then they come in as a guest.
Let's do that.
Yeah, I think if Adam's here, we could do. We could leave people off stage and have one person come in at a time. And if Adam's not here, we could do two people at a time. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, let me know if you let me or Scott know, or both, or whoever, whatever. If you want to come on, that would be cool. Jennifer, if you ever want to come on and talk about Coda too, that's cool.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, and so like it used to be Scott at thesoberheathen.com, but I let the website go. I didn't feel like it was bringing anything in, and I was just paying a bunch of money to have a website. So thesoberheathen at yahoo.com is how you find me.
I tried to do the support Zoom group, and it was like you pay like a couple $100 a month, and then there's still not countries. Like there's a lot of people from UK that wanted to join us in other countries, and they couldn't. Like there's countries on there that couldn't even join. So like South Africa, a whole bunch of other countries actually. It was kind of wild. But so then I tried WhatsApp, and I can't even figure it out. It's just
so I have something that's already ready to go. I just haven't released it yet. There's a couple people in there because I brought it up once.
Is it worldwide?
Yeah. So Discord is an app. If you don't know what it is, Discord is a voice and text app. I have a bunch of rooms already set up, ready to go. It's something that's open all the time. So you can come in, and if somebody's in one of the rooms and you need somebody to talk to, you can do that. Cool. If you wanted to talk to them through voice, you can do that as well. It's something that I want to release, but I haven't released it because I have a job and I have a family and I'm doing, all these other things. I don't want it to be half-assed. So if I can find a way to incorporate that and everything, I'll do it. Otherwise, I'm going to plug away on doing lives and podcasts. And if the monetization thing happens, then that's something that I would absolutely love to moderate, because 3:00 in the morning, somebody might be, midnight somewhere else on the planet, and you two might need each other, and you can hop into Discord and say, hey, dude, I'm struggling. Yeah. Or, hey, I drank tonight, and now I just feel like I'm just going to go do some more because fuck it, that's why. And just sometimes all you need is just in that moment, like, well, why don't you go to bed? Just close your eyes and go to sleep and reach back out to me in the morning. Sometimes that's all you need. So I think it'd be huge.
I love that.
Yeah, I think it'd be huge. And maybe if I find somebody else maybe to help me out with it, we could do that. But I think something like that is absolutely needed.
Well, I'll help you, and I want you to help me with
yes, it's a free app.
Yeah, if you could help me with the other one too. I just don't like my phone number being on there, so I don't know. We'll figure it out.
No phone number on Discord. There's no phone number needed. You just create an account,
That's cooler than.
Yeah, and then the app is free, so you can voice and talk. At worst, I would have to put up some money maybe to make the server a certain size, but I haven't ran into that yet. I have.
Okay.
We could have me, my kid, and 3 buddies actually, all in one server at a time, and it's never said that I need. I don't think there's a cost, so no.
We can find out. I bet you I have some people, or you have some people that we could ask.
Yeah, I don't want to open the app right now because it's
Yeah.
going to go ding, 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 ding. But yeah.
Yeah, it'd be cool. Let's explore other stuff too. I've been talking to other people and trying to figure out stuff for us to do.
Awesome,
trying to
Jennifer.
set stuff up. An X space. I was gonna start with Daryl, maybe next week. And then Scott will be able to do it too with us. All sorts of shit that we got. It's just hard because I'm working over 40 hours a week at work, and so is Scott. So it's like
I work second shift, so it's kind of annoying. What would need to be done with the Discord thing isn't like constant supervision necessarily. It would be the vetting of people that we let in. You know,
True.
so we don't have assholes coming in, you know, talking about, you know, wanting to see somebody's feet when it's supposed to be about recovery. You know, that's the one thing that you have to watch out for. But you can set up a password and you only give it to the people that you think really need it. So
that's pretty badass. Well, yeah, I'll help you with that if you need any help with it.
sure. Jennifer offered to, so maybe I'll reach out to her
Yeah.
too. I'll start plugging away on it when we get done here, and maybe we
Yeah.
can get it going here in a week or so.
Yeah. Also, you guys, if you're on X, join the community X. The community. Scott is also in it too. The recovery thing. I try not to make it about me and not post much in there, but I made it just for everybody else to use as like a group. That we have over 1,000 people in there now.
Oh wow.
And the recovery thing. It's on my X profile at the top.
Well, if all 1,000 of them came over and gave a like and subscribe, you know, imagine the things that we could do. So
I've been trying. Maybe you guys could share this video. That'd be really cool on X or wherever. That would.
I said, and maybe people won't think this is cool.
Let me see. It is cool.
But I'm trying to get it where the glare. There we go. So this is a Sober Heathen Undisputed Recovery Champion belt. I had this made when I first started the podcast. I want to give something out with the Sober Heathen. I won't put the Sober Heathen necessarily in the middle, but I was planning on giving this one away when I hit 1,000 followers on or subscribers on YouTube.
We're going to do it.
What I did with a belt that I had before, when I went into treatment, the people that were really close to me and I thought, you know, that really meant something to me, I had them sign the back of the belt in a paint pen. Oh. Now that belt I take to work, and when you have a client that finishes treatment court, drug court, alcohol court, whatever you want to call it, and they've done a really good job, and you know we've developed some kind of relationship, they get to sign that belt, you know, sign it, put their name and date on it, and that can be inspiration for the next person that's coming in, just starting it.
I love that, dude. We should be able to. You should have your thing signed behind you.
The sign?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I got like 3 of them. So
yeah. Bring it to work.
Yeah, cool. I know, but then I'm promoting my podcast at work. I try not to.
Oh, true. Yeah, I know. I do. I try not to too. It's hard.
Yeah, I try not to even bring it up.
Keeping it separate. Yeah, we keep our stuff separate from work. I don't tell anybody where I work, and neither does he. Well, I love you guys, and please contact us. The best place always is X, probably for Scott as well, right?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And you see, he put on the screen Fedus on X. Oh, yeah, exactly. Those are screen names. I always want to say screen names like AIM handles. And join the recovery group. Just hit join.
Yeah.
Click the little button. And I have another group, Lindsay's recovery content group, that I haven't really done much work on, but we'll see. We'll see. So, everything's in work.
Yeah, so if you listen to this now and you're interested in the Discord, find me on the social media and shoot me a message. Say you're interested, not necessarily moderating, but being a part of a community like that. Let me know. And if you listen to this later on, same thing. Shoot me an email, thesoberheathen@yahoo.com, or at the handle below.
I'm going to put my email in there too, real quick, and yours. Yahoo. And email me for anything too. I also have a website, but it's so that if people forget my email or my screen names, they'll be able to find me. Cool, guys. So if anybody have any last thoughts before we sign off? Anybody do anything extraordinary today? Like chilling,
Oops.
chill time? That was good.
Just trying to copy and paste.
Yeah, and I have a message thing on here too. I appreciate you. Good seeing you or talking to you, Arvin. It's been a little while. I hope you're doing well.
Yeah.
Hit me a message, shoot me a message. And same for anybody else. And Jennifer will get together too. I'd like to have her come talk on one of our podcasts or both.
Sounds good.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right, love you guys.
Bye-bye.
Wait, I cut in.
Aye, aye.
Mwah.